Hello, everyone. So today is July 5th, and it's almost 9:53 p.m. Eastern Time. So, guys, sorry for the delay. Sorry for not being able to come up with the weekly call for a couple of weeks. So let's start. So we have now, let's start with the economic indicator. So tomorrow we have ISM Services PMI, which is a key indicator. And then a couple of FOMC members, they speak on tomorrow. They speak tomorrow. And there's another one on Thursday. Plus, we have ADP weekly employment change, which is, from my perspective, it's a medium rated event. And then we have FOMC meeting minutes on Wednesday. And then we have unemployment claims, existing home sales. These are key to medium, high to medium rated economic indicators. The other thing is, let's look at the weekly probability map, which I publish on a weekly basis. So what I see this week is all 5 days are bullish. Some of them are a little bit slight bullish. Some of them are very bullish. The other statistics suggest that July historically is a strong month. Since 2007, Dow Jones is up. So by end of the month, July, Dow Jones is up 2.32% on average basis for 85% of the years, NASDAQ 3.11% average, 75% of the year, and then S&P 2.4% average in 75% of the year. So that means July is going to be a critical and very, looks like it's going to be a strong month. Right? By the way, guys, if you do not know, my name is Ali Merchant. I'm the founder of TWT Learnings, and TWT Learnings provides education and research. We do offer mentorship program and provide portfolio. We do provide portfolio advisory at individual and institutional level. And I'm available on Twitter. And this is the website, Twitter, and YouTube. So I'll try to be regular on YouTube. I haven't been able to do it in the past few weeks. So if you have any training needs, mentorship needs, if you need any advisory services, please reach out to us. You can go to twtlearning.com and find the contact details. Thank you very much. And let's go to the analysis for this week. So we'll start from NASDAQ futures. So NASDAQ futures, if you see that NASDAQ future has been holding this trend line for since June 2026, right? And this trend line is the key for the market to move forward. So 29, I would say 29,500 to 29,360, 350 is the key support. Right now we are at 29,760, 770. I still see, but looking at the overall trend line, as long as we remain above this trend line, we have room to go higher tomorrow in the morning. So right at the moment, whatever we are trading in futures is for Monday morning. Monday as a day, Monday. Let's look at the S&P 500 futures. Now, S&P 500 futures flips between 7,540, it goes higher, it remains higher for a bit, hits somewhere around 7,600, 620, 25. If it flips down, then it comes down to 7,400. Right at the moment at the moment in Monday, Sunday evening trading for futures, which is Monday, practically the day of Monday. So we are actually at 7,552. We remain above 7,004. I believe that we're going to remain above 7,540. And we're going to hold this and we're going to go towards something like 7,580 to 7,620. Let's look at the VIX, the volatility index. So volatility is coming down after we have seen some spikes in early June, and then we have seen actually in the later part of the June, the volatility is coming down. That is also a sign that the futures, that means MNQ, which is basically the Nasdaq 100 composite, and so MNQ, which is Nasdaq 100 futures, Nasdaq 100 index, and then S&P 500, which is uh, S&P 500 index futures, right? So if the VIX is coming down, these two has a very high probability of going higher. Let's see what's happening on QQQ. So in the overnight market, QQQ is somewhere around 718, while it closed at 712.60 on Friday. 722 is the key resistance. We break above 722. We are going back to at least fill this gap, which can bring us to 733.35. Let's look at SPY, sorry. Let's come to SPY. So SPY is a key line, resistance line, 749.53. Overnight market, we are 747. 744 was actually 744, 745 was the actual close on Friday. So we are up on overnight market, during the overnight market. UVXY, which is actually the VIX short-term futures ETF, and that is also heading lower. That is the theme. Let's go to a couple of our asset classes. So let's look at gold. So gold has a resistance between 4,200 to 4,220. We failed to break this one. Gold is likely to come down to 4,100 to 4,800. Okay, let's go. Let's look at those who follow Bitcoin. Now, so I'll share some statistics on Bitcoin as well. So Bitcoin, as we've seen a good run from almost 5,000, sorry, 57,735 to all the way to 63K. Bitcoin, 80% of the time in the month of July, it remains higher. 80% of 80 to 85% of the time. So Bitcoin remains higher in the month of July. Now look at the crude. So light crude. There's a very strong support around 66, 67. We hold the support. We may see some move, at least if I'm not wrong, towards 75 to 77 in the coming days. US Treasury yields. So US Treasury yields all across. I mean, it has gone higher for the last 4 weeks. Now it's actually holding this trend line. So these are actually the 10 years US Treasury yield. So 4.45, 4.46 is the key support. We remain above this. Probably we may see a little bit move higher ahead of the Fed minutes. Let's see how it performs. So let's see. US dollar. So US dollar index, which is it's a basket of 7 to 8 currencies with the highest weightage from Euro has the highest weightage, I think 55 to 57% in it. So US dollar index for a very long time, it remained around 100, around 100, 120, 150. Now it is somewhere, it is heading towards 101.5, which we have already seen. It may go and hit 102. So probability of interest rate hike in the US has moved. I mean, earlier this year, it looked like that there is a rate cut later this part of the year. Now, with the geopolitical situation and everything, it seems like that we're going to see a rate hike. I mean, 2 months ago in May, it was expected to have a probability was much higher in Q1 next year in 27. Now the probability is higher that the July meeting will be no rate cut, no rate hike, so no rate change, sorry, let me put it this way, so flat, whatever it is, 3.5. So it will remain as the current rate. And where it comes to September is a higher probability of a rate hike. Right, guys? So let's see. Let's move there. Let's look at some of the key stocks. Tesla dropped to the key support at 409. In the overnight market, it's 396, while the closing was 393. There's a possibility that Tesla may go higher to 403, 405, and may even hit 409, 410, 410, sorry. All right, let's look at NVIDIA. So NVIDIA is more or less flat from 194.83 Friday close to right now 195.50. NVIDIA looks like more or less in the range between 200 to 192, may come down if it comes down to 191, 190, 189. AMD 517 close versus 527 in the overnight market. AMD looks to me, it looks like more of a range trade for now. Let's see how it works. It holds the low what we have seen, which is 495. I would look at the recent low, which is about 506. So these two levels should support for a move higher to somewhere around 547, 550. Let's look at Alphabet, Google. All right, so Google is actually right at the moment from its close at 359. It's 360 at the moment, and the overnight market has a key resistance around 300 and I would say 60, 61, 62. Breaks this, then we can see a good strong rally in Google. Okay, let's look at Broadcom. Broadcom is sitting at a support around 356, 57. We break this, we hold this support, we can see a move higher to 382. Right. Let's look at Apple. Apple has been very strong with the new iPhone they're bringing up, with a few four or five new models bringing up. So we've seen a strong move in Apple. I think Apple will cool down a little bit. It can come down to 301, 302 before it decides the direction. Microsoft has a very strong resistance around 392. It's around 390, so 392, 395, and 400. Let's see if it can go to 400. Otherwise, we will see some sort of a range trade in Microsoft. Amazon, we've seen Amazon, every time it goes to 250, it gets sold off. So let's see if it is able to break. I mean, there's a possibility that it may go to 249, 250. Let's see if it's able to break. If it doesn't, then probably we'll see a move a little bit lower on the downside. Okay, let's look at SOXL. So SOXL has been very volatile from 19th of May. It moved from 135 all the way to 284, came down to 231, then went up to 302 before coming down to 181 last Friday, and right at the moment is 190. This huge volatility suggests every time it goes higher, somebody is actually getting out of the semiconductor sector. So that's all from now, guys. Watch out these. If you're not following me on Twitter or YouTube, please do visit my website, see the testimonials from the students I have trained, and then I will see you guys soon next week. Or I'll try to do, if I see any significant move during the week, I'll do another YouTube. Thank you very much for your time and have a wonderful trading week ahead.